Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski, I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is trading daily analytical report, where I will show you what's going on the markets, and we will try to look for some decent trading occasions. Today, Friday, will be very interesting in terms of the macro data. Finally, something is going to happen today. Calendar was rather empty. No major fundamental events, but today, as you can see, we'll have CPI and retail sales from US. And 4.5 hours, we will find out this data, which actually should trigger us some midterm trading signals. Why is that? Because on many instruments we are on important supports or resistances, and depending from this data we will have a bounce or breakout, so in my opinion a legitimate trading signal, but I will show you that in a second. Apart from that, well, in general, ahead of this data, American dollar is weaker. Is weaker against most of the currencies, but for example against the Canadian dollar is stronger. Why is that? Because we have information that Canada is increasingly convinced that President Trump will shortly announce that US is pulling out of NAFTA, so their trade agreement, and that is negatively affecting Canadian dollar. As it is a Friday, let me show you the data for the next week, because we have to be aware what's going to happen. If you want to open a position today, you need to be aware of what is going to happen, like on Monday, for example, or on Tuesday, or during the weekend. So as for the day, let's finish with the data for today. We had overnight, data from China, well, overnight. Actually, I'm broadcasting now from Asia, so for overnight for European or American traders. Data about trade balance from China, much better than expected. That is why American, all indexes are climbing higher right now, but actually I don't think indexes need special reasons right now. I think that they are just going higher and higher and higher, despite anything like it's like there is no tomorrow, let's say. But the data from China was quite good. Right, apart from that, not much. Again, 4.5 hours, retail sales, CPI from US. Let's see what is going to happen next week. On Monday, we start trade balance from Eurozone. On Tuesday, pack of data from New Zealand, but not very significant. And the data from UK, we will have CPI from UK. On Wednesday, CPI from Eurozone, and interest rate decision from Bank of Canada. As you can see, we are expecting a small rise because the previous one was 1%, and we are expecting 1.1, so we are expecting a hawkish movement from Bank of Canada. On Thursday, data from the job market from Australia, GDP from China, and data from the housing market from US. And Friday, surprisingly, without anything significant, without any major macro data. But the calendar for the next week looks promising really. We are about to see some interesting numbers. With that being said, let's move to the charts right now. First, we'll start with gold. because gold is climbing much higher today. Yesterday, there was a risk. We had a chance for a bearish movement. The price was about to create a head and shoulder pattern. Here is a left shoulder, here is a head, and here is almost a right shoulder, especially after this long head here. Price was very close for creating a right shoulder. Well, we said that sentiment is still positive, that we are still in a positive territory here. Especially that we had important supports below, so long-term mid-term uptrend line and a neckline of this formation. That will be a strong support. Not mentioning this support marked with orange color here on $1,297 per ounce. But as you can see, sellers did not even try to test this support, which actually shows their weakness. And no surprise here if they didn't want to test this support. No surprise that the price went significantly higher. And look, we are on new highs. We are on the highest level since 15th of September. Once we will go a bit higher, we will be on the highest level since 11th of September, and we are very close to the yearly to the highs from 2017. The sentiment for gold is very positive. And this signal which was created here, this bearish signal, is almost complete. Well, it is denied completely, and the long-term situation looks very, very promising. Well, I guess this line will be a fair resistance here. Okay, maybe let's change the color here. So the resistance for gold is around $1,352 per ounce. So we do have still $22 space for an upswing. Euro to Japanese yen beautifully defended the uptrend line here, and they are climbing above the horizontal support here. Price closing above this support will make this a false breakout pattern. False breakout usually lead to a movement, strong movement in the opposite direction. So once the price will close above the horizontal resistance, we'll have a strong buy signal here. And Australian dollar to American dollar, which is defending horizontal support here. Especially this candle from last hour is promising for buyers because it shows you that there was a demand here on this support, on this level, that the price tested this level and went significantly higher. So this is very promising. And now first 10 minutes of the current hour, and we do have a candle with higher highs and higher lows. We can see that the price is respecting that. Situation looks promising, especially that again we are like on the long-term uptrend line. So it all looks so far so good. As long as we stay above the yellow area, the sentiment on Australian dollar to American dollar is positive. I don't think that this support will be strong, but we can still have it on the chart because there was a hammer here with a long tail. Maybe it can be significant, but I think that yellow one is much stronger. American dollar to Singaporean dollar, that's absolutely beautiful example of how price action works. Look at that. The main principle of the price action is what? Broken support becomes a resistance. So there was support got broken, and broken support was tested as a resistance. Test was perfect for sellers. From that point, the price is just going down. A beautiful setup. New Zealand dollar to American dollar. Also defended this, well, they didn't have a horizontal support here, maybe this, but it's a bit, I don't want to say it's a bit dodgy, but okay, let's leave it. Okay, I was hoping for a correction equality pattern, so I was thinking that this correction and this correction, they will be repeated here, but apparently, well, so far it's not the case here. Well, New Zealand dollars, American dollar sentiment is positive ahead of the data. The price is climbing higher. I don't see other scenario than a further upswing. And euro dollar, yes, look at that. Euro dollar made new highs. Beat the highs from 2017, beat the highs from 2018, well, it's just 12th of January, but broke ultra important horizontal resistance ahead of the data. Again, how important is this resistance? Look here, lows from 2012, highs from 2017, that is huge. I'm a bit surprised because I thought that they will wait for a fuel from the data, but they broke this resistance ahead of the data. Chapeau bas. Look at that. Upswing flag, upswing flag, upswing flag, upswing flag, upswing flag, upswing flag, upswing. How many flags? 4, 5, 6 flags in a row. That's pretty amazing. So, euro dollar is having a great time right now, positive sentiment. Ooh, British pound to American dollar also broke the upper line of the wedge. I'm wondering what could trigger this reaction. I'm checking right now, because usually, come on, for such important breakouts, you need a bit of help from the fundamental side of the market, but I don't see anything. Maybe it was just stop loss activations, but on a cable that well, we marked this green place as a potential place for a long position. Because that would mean a breakout of the upper, well, that means a breakout of the upper line of the wedge, which triggers a buy signal. Okay, first positive signs could be seen here, because we got a false breakout of the lower line of the wedge. The price reversed inside of the wedge, tested the upper line of the wedge, reversed a little bit, then broke the upper line of the wedge, and finally breakout, and we are testing the highs from the beginning of the year. We didn't beat them yet, but we are very close to beat them, and then beat the highs from September, which is actually expected here. And we should see that quite well soon, if the data will be negative for American dollar. American dollar to Canadian dollar, I was waiting for that. I think that's a legitimate setup, that's a good setup. What's happening here? There's a long-term downswing, then a long-term correction, then a breakout of the lower line of the correction, which actually triggers a buy, a sell signal here, also breakout of the horizontal support, and then we have a small correction of this downswing. And this correction is supposed to come to an end yesterday, came to an end yesterday, because that's a shooting star candlestick. and shooting star candlestick is usually a negative sign. I was surprised that the price was not going down today, but was going up. Well, due to this information about US canceling the NAFTA deal, but this negative sentiment towards dollar, American dollar, can be seen also here. So the price is aiming from the daily highs to the daily lows. There is a very big chance that we will test the lower line of this correction. Breakout of this lower line should trigger us a sell signal. That's euro dollar again, so you know that. Dollar index. Yes. And that is super technical. That is super technical. Look at that. That's why I love technical analysis, and that's why, for example, in 45 minutes we'll have a webinar about technical analysis, about price patterns. Yes, well, these are price patterns, head and shoulder formation and a neckline here, and a principle of price action trading that broken support becomes a resistance. So we broke the support, it became a resistance. That's another formation because that's a wedge. Green lines, that's a wedge. So we are bouncing from the support, from the upper line of the wedge, from the support, which is now a resistance. We test the lower line of the wedge, then we break it, which increases the momentum, and now we are attacking long-term horizontal support on dollar index. Next one, euro to British pound. Euro is much stronger than British pound right now, and the sentiment can stay with us for longer, and the price can aim the horizontal resistance here. 100 pips more. It looks like we will have 100 pips upswing here. And S&P 500. Another day, another dollar. Look at that. If you are wondering if here, for example, stocks were too expensive, no, they were not. We are going higher and higher and higher. Is that Bitcoin? No, that's S&P 500. Euro to Swiss franc. We are almost getting to 120. As you can see, this Black Thursday on the market, right? We are almost there. Maybe I will like that will be better. Yes, that is potential target for us. WTI reversed a little bit, but still everything is fine. We do have a perfect, beautiful uptrend here. That's our uptrend, to be precise. Or actually, was that a test? Well, we can say that was a test of a uptrend line. So far it's positive. So actually that's quite a nice buying opportunity here. That's a very nice channel up formation. We are bouncing from the lower line of this channel up formation with a nice hammer candlestick. It's quite promising. It looks promising. It looks like a good buying opportunity. Still, I don't see any significant news, latest news that could spark this movement on dollar. So yeah, probably just stop loss activation. American dollar to Swiss franc. What we do have here is a channel down formation, and inside of the channel down formation we got a flag. First we bounced from the resistance, then we got a flag. We broke the lower line of the flag, which triggered us a sell signal. We tested that as a resistance, and now the price is going down, and we should get this lower line of the channel down formation soon. That's our prediction, like for American dollar to Swiss franc. Next one, FTSE. I like this chart. I like this chart because here again, when where we do have this orange rectangle, we said that it's an ascending triangle and we should get a reversal here. We should see the price bouncing from this support, and that should bring us a reversal, and that brought us a reversal, and we were happy that we were warning our traders about the possibility of such movement. DAX. As you can see, DAX has some troubles. FTSE does not. S&P does not. But DAX has. Well, here we can have issues with a bit stronger euro. Many exporters, German exporters, will not like that, especially this upswing from today, which can be reflected in the weaker DAX. Also, we do have problems with coalition, a bit of political uncertainty, which is not very welcome. But anyway, situation is not tragic. It's still okay. Nothing that they cannot manage, especially with this small reversal that we can see here, and especially with this major buy signal that was triggered at the beginning of the year actually. And New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar. That's a very beautiful setup here, beautiful pattern. So what we do have here is an upswing, a flag, a breakout of the upper line of the flag, and a further upswing. Not much we can add here. All looks very good for the buyers. Well, now I wouldn't buy because it's a little bit too high and the price can reverse. Price reversing will not cancel positive sentiment around here. Definitely positive sentiment around here stays, but reversal is very probable, like maybe not to the orange area, but let's say at least here, just to like blow some steam and take some profits. So a movement to the green area is very probable. And euro to New Zealand dollar, yes, I like it. I like it. Why? Because here we are about to test recent support as a closest resistance. I like this kind of movements. What's that resistance? That's 23.6. That will be also a neckline, and that will be a horizontal support. So the price is about to test the sell signal that was created here. If the price will create a reversal pattern here on this arrow, around this arrow, let's say, that can be a very strong sell signal. And American dollar to Japanese yen. Here we can see how weak is the American dollar. We are very close to the long-term support. Chances that we will get there are very, very high. And Canadian dollar to Japanese yen. Well, here I would love to see a buy signal. Why is that? Because the price is above the uptrend line, and because the price is in an ascending triangle pattern. This similar, as you can see here, ascending triangle, horizontal resistance, and a dynamic support. Right, so we do have dynamic support here, this black line, and a horizontal resistance here, and an uptrend line. But the thing is, I would love to see that, but the recent drop here is a little bit too strong. I know it's a result of Bank of Japan tapering their bond buying program, which triggered a stronger yen reaction on the market. I don't know that. But Canadian dollar at the same time is not very strong, which is worrying me a little bit. But as long as we stay above the green line and above the black line, the sentiment here is positive. And Australian dollar to Canadian dollar, here we are fighting on a horizontal resistance. As long as we are below the resistance, there is no buy signal, but once we break this resistance, the buy signal will be created. So yeah, price closing on the checkpoint will be a strong buy signal on this instrument. And Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, I had position here. I think I sold here, then it closed on break-even point. I opened because there was a breakout of the lower line of the wedge and a false breakout here, but now we are about to have another sell signal because the price is about to break the neckline of this head and shoulder formation. Once the daily chart will close, the daily candlestick will close below this horizontal support, that will be a sell signal on Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, and quite a strong one. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bearish candles in a row. That is quite significant. So New Zealand dollar is much stronger than the Australian dollar right now. And last but not least, we do have a Bitcoin. Bitcoin, which I'm surprised how the Bitcoin is moving recently. Not that it's going down, up or down, but I'm surprised with the lower volatility. Well, many traders moved their money to other cryptocurrencies because Bitcoin is not offering those returns as it was recently, but other currencies are like giving 100% in 1 week or something. Bitcoin is not giving that anymore, so that's why many traders probably switched to other cryptocurrencies. We had some rumors that South Korea is about to ban cryptos. Some people say it's a rumor, some of the people say it's happening, so the information is not clear yet. What is clear is that it caused a negative situation on Bitcoin. We are having lower lows and lower highs. We broke the midterm uptrend line here, and the most probable scenario right now is the price declining to $11,000 for one Bitcoin. With the recent price movements, that seems like the most probable scenario. Let me check the gold. Gold is doing good. Australian dollar is doing good. This movement seems sustainable. Look, on euro dollar we broke this level quite a few minutes ago. Not a few minutes, but let's say, yeah, even more, 1 hour ago, and we are still close to the daily highs, which shows us that the buyers are controlling the situation and there is a buying pressure here. Fair enough. That's what the technical analysis was showing us recently. Thank you very much for attending Daily Analytical Report, the last one this week. Now a half an hour break, and after that the webinar about price patterns. So I will show you price patterns which work because you could see examples here. All those trading signals are based on trading patterns, candlestick patterns, price patterns. So I will teach you about those methods in half an hour. In the meantime, you have to follow us on Twitter and check our website alpari.news from time to time for professional content from Forex experts. Thanks very much, and see you in 30 minutes.